Holy Cross Crusaders came to Fordham today to visit the Fordham Rams at Moglia Stadium on family weekend. It was a matchup of the number 1 and number 2 offenses in the Patriot League, and while it was a nail-biter down the stretch, unfortunately for the Fordham Rams, they suffered their 7th straight loss to the Holy Cross Crusaders. Last season, they lost to the Crusaders 53-52, and once again, they couldn't pull it off. Fordham came into this game on a 2-game winning streak after preceding a bye week, while Holy Cross just lost to Lafayette last week 38-35, and they look to bounce back. In this game, Fordham's coach Joe Conlon emphasized the fact that mistakes and penalties cost them the game.
Too many mistakes. You can't beat a good team, defending champs, if you have that many penalties, and obviously we turned the ball over, they didn't. So too many mistakes, just shot ourselves in the foot. I thought we played hard. CJ had a great game. Juice had a great game. We just defensively, we can't allow them to run the ball like they did in the second half. And obviously we can't, we have to defend the pass game better. 3 passing touchdowns, too many. So we got to do a better job.
The Holy Cross Crusaders were without their starting quarterback, Matthew Slickett, today. They had to turn to their QB2 and Joe Pizanski, but it wasn't a problem for them because neither team was playing much defense to start the game, and both teams were actually trading touchdowns. Joe Pizanski, in the first quarter alone, passed for 129 passing yards, and CJ Montez responded with 118 of his own, completing 9 passes on 9 attempts. Jalen Coker, one of the Crusaders receivers, had 82 receiving yards in the first quarter alone. In the game slowed down in the second half for sure, as there was much more defense being played, but it was still a fairly high-scoring game, and in fact, it got more chaotic as for the Crusaders, their helmets flew off multiple times in the game. They still prevailed and won in the end, though, as in the fourth quarter, they scored 2 touchdowns that was too much for Fordham to come back from, as they missed their 2-point conversion at the end of the game. To finish the game, Joe Pizanski had 337 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, while CJ Montez had 410 passing yards with 4 touchdowns. Some other marquee players were Tyler Purdy with 85 receiving yards and 30 rushing yards, being a dual threat. Julius Luffridge doing his thing as usual with 211 rushing yards on 25 attempts. And then there was MJ Wright, who had 164 receiving yards for the Fordham Rams. CJ Montez reflected after the game on how he wants to move forward from the game.
Really just trusting my guys. That's all you can do at the end of the day. Mistakes happen, turnovers, they do happen, but it's really how you respond. And I think I responded well and showed my teammates and coaches what I could do.
Fordham will look to bounce back from their loss against Bucknell next week for their last home game of the season, and then they will go on a 2-game road trip to round out the season. With WFUV Sports, I'm Will Jing.